Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a panel chart. More specifically, a panel chart made up of a bunch of area charts. These are area charts right here. Now these are actually several area charts and they just have the borders taken off and they're all kind of put into this border to make it look like it's all one chart. And you can actually make this pretty easily. This is data taken from the US Census, and I've got my inspiration for creating this chart from a Pew Research post article, and it kind of showed these type of charts, and I thought this would be kind of a neat example of how to create a panel chart with area charts. So let's see how we can do it. I've already copied this particular table onto another tab here, and here's our tab here. So what I need to do is I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of these grid lines first to kind of make it a little bit more pleasing to look at. Let me go ahead and go under view, uncheck the grid lines, and then I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so I can get some space down here. So let me go ahead and just make this a little bit smaller and kind of pull this out over here. All right, and so what I need to do first is I just need to go ahead and get to this range of data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an area chart that's just going to represent one chart first. And after I format it, then I'm just going to duplicate that chart and change the references to the other records here, the other fields, the other series of data. So let me go back into sheet 2 here, and I'm going to take that, I'm going to go under insert and go to insert an area chart. And so I'm just going to go ahead and select the 2D area chart. And this is what I've got initially, right? So all I need to do is get rid of a couple things. I'm going to delete the grid lines, delete the legend here. I'm going to delete or remove the axis here. I don't need that. I'm also going to put labels. I'm going to right click and go ahead and add data labels. I'm going to go ahead and move these up here for, actually I'm going to go ahead and resize this first. So I'm going to put this into a good size, an appropriate size that is fitting for what I need. That looks like a good size. Let me go ahead and look at the format. Maybe make it a round number, 2 by 2.5, right? That looks like it's fine. I'm going to move it over here. And I'm also going to do some additional formatting. Maybe I want to give it some color. So I'm going to do all my formatting with one chart first and then duplicate it off so I don't need to format again for each additional panel chart. So let me go ahead and go under design. Maybe I want to give it some bevel, a bevel look. Maybe instead of blue, let me go with orange here. Let's go with orange. And now I'm going to go ahead and move the labels here up here, and I'm going to click this and move it over here. And maybe this was a little bit too big. Maybe I can make it a little bit smaller. Let me go ahead and change the layout here and maybe make this one 2. Let's see how that looks. If I change it to 2, that still looks okay. So 2 by 2 may look fine here. Now I have this pretty much where I want it, and you notice if I click outside, there is a border around this chart. And the reason why I'm going to keep it for now is it's going to help me line up the charts when I line it up over here horizontally. If I didn't have the borders, I'm going to remove the borders later, but if I didn't have the borders, it'd make it a little bit more difficult to line them up. Actually, you can probably do it with the align here. So let me see if I can align them up with the borders intact and then just remove the borders later on. So let me go ahead and select that, press Ctrl D, and what it's going to do is it's going to duplicate this chart. So I'm going to duplicate this chart. I'm going to move it over here. Let me click outside. Let me line up a little bit better. And actually, maybe I can use the align feature. Let me click this and see if I can use the align feature and align it. Let's see. Let me align it middle. Let's see what that does. And it lines up pretty well, so that I'll probably use that for the rest of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this particular chart, and you notice now that the markers here indicate where it's looking for the series. All I need to do is take one of them. I can take either the green one or the blue one here and just kind of move it down, and you now notice that it's changed. So I can just replicate this for the rest of them. So I can go ahead and go click that, press Ctrl D to duplicate, bring it over here, and then move that down here one more, press Ctrl D, duplicate that, move that down here, and do the same thing. Press Ctrl D to duplicate, move that down here, and one more last time, Ctrl D to duplicate, and now move that down here. And now I've got them all kind of nicely laid out. Let me go ahead and line them up a little bit. I think they're pretty much lined up, but let me see if I can line them up better with the auto align feature. So instead of selecting it all by one, I may press Control and then press the mouse click to click all of them. That's one way to do it. Or you can go ahead, these are the only objects here on this particular worksheet. I can just press the F5 key, go to Special, and just select I want to select just, oops, not the blanks. I want to select the objects. So these are all objects here. These 6 charts are objects. And once I do that, it's selected all the objects. And what I can do is go into Format, and then I'll click Line. Let me see if I can do align. Let's just try align middle. Let's see what that does. It didn't really do anything. I think it lined it up already. Maybe I can say distribute horizontally. And let's see what it did. And it looks like it kind of, I think it already had it distributed pretty well once I copied it. Excel is pretty smart. Once you line them up and try to duplicate it again, it kind of guesses and see if it will line them up correctly for you. So what I need to do now is kind of move the labels around to make it look a little bit better. So you can see that this doesn't look too good right now. You have the percentages off. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and kind of maybe move it a little bit. Actually, I should have done that in the first place instead of doing it later on. Now you see some of them look okay, but here are the ones that have 2 digits didn't look too good. So I might need to reduce the font size. So what I can do is select that, right click, and maybe reduce the font size 1, maybe have it at 9. And you may think that I need to do it the same here, but maybe I can just press the F4 key. That will repeat the last command, so I can go ahead and click over here and press F4, click over here, press F4, over here, F4, and click over here, F4. And I can just kind of move these into place. Let me move this one up so it doesn't block that part of the chart. And then move that one up, and I'll go ahead and move this one up. And the same with this one, I'm going to move this one up, and then this one I'm going to move it down here, right? And so I've got that all set now, and what I can do is I want to remove these borders now, so I can go under and go to Find Select. This is the other way, instead of pressing the F. If you didn't want to press the F5 key, you want to kind of learn some of the commands in the ribbon, you click Go To and go to Special and click Objects. It's going to select all the objects, and I'm going to Format, and it doesn't give me that option here. So what I can do is I can right click and go under Size and Properties. Let's see if this will give it to me. And let's see, line color. I want to have line color. Nope, it didn't do it for me. So what I can do is I have to maybe do it individually. So I'll select the first one here, right click, and go into Format Chart Area, and then go under Border Color and select No Line. Once I click Close, you'll now notice the border is gone. So you might think you have to do that for the same here, but let's try the F4 key to repeat that command, and that did it. So F4 here, press here, F4, press here, F4, and click here, F4, and they all kind of disappeared. So now you can just set a frame around it, and so to set a frame around it, I can just use the Insert Shape. So I'll insert maybe this time I'll insert a rectangle shape. So I'll insert a rectangle shape, and I kind of just draw it out here. And once that's done, you might notice, well, it's covered it now, but I can just go under Shape Fill and go under No Fill, and maybe for the shape outline, give it kind of a dark outline, not a black. And then after that, maybe give it some effect so it kind of gives it some perspective. Maybe I'll give it a shadow effect, and then you have that. So this is something then later on you can take a snapshot of this and put it onto a PowerPoint slide, or you can just keep it as is, and this can be part of a dashboard sheet where you're showing the different statistics in a panel format. So this is called a panel chart, and you can use the area charts to kind of give your panel chart look. So I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.